Have you ever wondered how gambling can affect your life? We often encounter this question casually, not realizing the profound implications it holds. Gambling, seen by many as an innocent pastime, a minor diversion, can morph into a colossal issue with serious repercussions. It's not uncommon for individuals to shrug off the risks associated with gambling, dismissing it as a harmless hobby. They believe that they're in control, that they can stop whenever they want. But that's far from the truth. Gambling can swiftly escalate, becoming an addiction that stealthily seizes control over one's life. It's a whirlpool that pulls individuals deeper into its vortex, impacting not only their mental well-being but also their financial stability and personal relationships. It's a silent predator, often unnoticed until it's too late. As we delve deeper into this topic, you will realize that gambling can be a silent destroyer of lives. You might be asking, what is gambling addiction? Well, let's dive right into that. Gambling addiction, also known as compulsive gambling or gambling disorder, is an impulse control disorder. It's a behavioral addiction, much like being addicted to drugs or alcohol. But here's the catch. You don't need to ingest anything to develop it, making it a bit more elusive to detect. It's characterized by an uncontrollable urge to gamble, regardless of the negative impact it may have on one's life. It's not just about the thrill of winning. For many, it's the entire process, the anticipation, the game, the risk, that's truly addictive. It's a vicious cycle where the more you gamble, the more you want to gamble. Now, how does this all work in the brain? Good question. Gambling, like other addictions, triggers the brain's reward system. It's the same system that responds to pleasurable activities like eating or sex. When you gamble, your brain releases a surge of dopamine, the feel-good neurotransmitter, making you feel euphoric and wanting to repeat the behavior. However, over time, as you gamble more and more, your brain adjusts. It produces less dopamine, making it harder to experience the same level of pleasure. You then need to gamble more to feel that same high, leading to a dangerous spiral of increasing gambling behavior. But gambling addiction isn't just about the brain. It's also about the inability to resist impulses to gamble, which can be driven by a range of factors, from emotional distress and boredom to societal pressure and the desire for social status. By now you might be thinking, wow, this sounds serious. And you're absolutely right. Gambling addiction is a mental health disorder that can have devastating effects if left untreated. It's not just about losing money. It's about losing control over your own actions and potentially your life. Indeed, gambling addiction is a mental health disorder that can have devastating effects if left untreated. Now you might wonder, how do I know if someone has a gambling addiction? Well, let's delve right into it. There are several signs to look for when identifying a gambling problem. One of the first and most common signs is an increasing preoccupation with gambling. You may notice that the individual spends an inordinate amount of time thinking about past gambling experiences, planning the next venture, or devising ways to get money to gamble. Another significant sign is the need to gamble with more money to achieve the same thrill. This is also known as chasing losses. It's like needing an extra shot of espresso in your coffee every morning to get the same kick. They're continually upping the ante, and the stakes get higher and higher. Furthermore, unsuccessful attempts to stop or control gambling is a clear sign of addiction. You know, it's like trying to quit smoking or cut down on junk food. They may have tried multiple times to stop or cut back their gambling, but they always seem to wind up back at square one. It's a cycle of resolve, relapse, and regret. And let's not forget about the impact on personal life. Are they neglecting work, school, or other responsibilities because of their gambling? Are they lying to family members or friends to hide the extent of their gambling? These are all clear signs of a problem. Also, look for signs of distress. Are they restless or irritable when trying to cut down on gambling? Are they gambling as a way of escaping from problems or feelings of helplessness, guilt, anxiety, or depression? These are signs that gambling is not just a casual pastime, but a serious issue. Remember, these signs may not all be present at the same time, and the intensity of these symptoms can vary from person to person. However, If you or someone you know exhibits several of these signs, it may be time to seek help. Recognizing these signs is the first step towards helping yourself or a loved one. But what happens if these signs are ignored? Well, the consequences of untreated gambling addiction can be far-reaching and deeply impactful. Let's delve into this a bit further. Firstly, it's important to understand that gambling addiction isn't just about losing money. It's a mental health issue that can lead to a host of other problems. Compulsive gamblers often suffer from anxiety and depression as they struggle with the guilt and stress of their addiction. They may also experience sleep deprivation and other physical health issues due to the constant worry and the irregular lifestyle. Financial instability is another significant impact of gambling addiction. What starts as an innocent flutter can quickly spiral into an uncontrollable urge, leading to substantial debt. It's not uncommon for problem gamblers to lose their homes, their jobs, or even their life savings. They may resort to borrowing money, selling personal belongings, or even engaging in illegal activities to fund their addiction. The financial stress can be overwhelming and can lead to further mental health issues. But it's not just the individual who suffers. The ripple effects of gambling addiction extend to personal relationships as well. Trust is often broken as the gambler hides their activities and the extent of their debts. This can result in strained relationships with loved ones, friends, and colleagues. In severe cases, it can lead to isolation, divorce, or loss of custody of children. The emotional toll on the loved ones of problem gamblers can be heavy. They may feel a range of negative emotions, from frustration and anger to sadness and despair. They may also suffer financial hardship if they are codependent on the gambler. It's important to remember that the impacts of gambling addiction are not just immediate. They can have long-term effects on an individual's mental, physical, and financial health, as well as their relationships. It can take years to recover from the damage caused by gambling addiction, if recovery is possible at all. That's why it's crucial to recognize the signs of gambling addiction early and seek help. The sooner the problem is addressed, the better the chances of mitigating these impacts and starting on the path to recovery. So, what can be done to escape the gambling trap? That's what we'll explore in the next scene. As you can see, the ripple effects of gambling addiction extend far beyond the individual. So what can one do if they find themselves or a loved one caught in the gambling trap? The first step to escaping this trap is acknowledging the problem. It's a brave move to admit that gambling has taken control, and that courage is the foundation upon which recovery is built. It's not about blaming oneself or feeling guilty. It's about understanding that it's a disorder that can be overcome. Secondly, seeking professional help is crucial. Therapists and counselors trained in the field of addiction can provide guidance and tools to cope with the urges to gamble. Cognitive behavioral therapy, for instance, helps individuals reshape their thought processes and perceptions about gambling, replacing harmful beliefs with healthier ones. Support groups also play a pivotal role in overcoming gambling addiction. Groups like Gamblers Anonymous provide a safe space to share experiences, learn from others who have walked the same path, and draw strength from collective resilience. It's a powerful reminder that one is not alone in this journey. Implementing practical strategies to avoid triggers is another essential step. Identifying the situations, emotions, or thoughts that prompt the urge to gamble can help one devise strategies to avoid or cope with these triggers. This could involve finding new hobbies, setting financial limits, or even avoiding certain places or people. Self-care should not be overlooked. Regular exercise, a balanced diet, and sufficient sleep can significantly improve one's mental and physical well-being, equipping them better to resist the pull of gambling. It's also important to practice stress management techniques, such as meditation, deep breathing, or yoga, to maintain a calm and balanced state of mind. Financial management is another vital part of recovery. It might be beneficial to seek advice from financial advisors or use budgeting tools to regain control over finances. Lastly, patience is key. Overcoming an addiction is not an overnight process. It requires time, effort, and a lot of self-compassion. There might be setbacks along the way, but each hurdle overcome is a step closer to a life free from the clutches of gambling. Remember, overcoming gambling addiction is not a sign of weakness, but a testament to strength and resilience. It's about taking back control, rebuilding relationships, and reclaiming one's life. And remember, every step taken towards recovery, no matter how small, is a victory in itself. So where does all this information leave us? It serves as a stark reminder of the hidden impacts of gambling, a seemingly harmless activity that can spiral into a life-altering addiction. It's essential to understand the signs of gambling addiction, which can often be subtle and easily overlooked. This understanding can be the first step towards seeking help and reclaiming control of one's life. The impacts of gambling addiction are far-reaching, affecting not just the individual but also their health, finances, and relationships. It's a trap that can seem impossible to escape from, but with the right help and support, it is entirely possible to break free. We've discussed strategies for escaping the gambling trap, but the most important step is the first one: acknowledging the problem. Remember, there's no shame in seeking help. In the end, it's crucial to remember that there is a meaningful and fulfilling life beyond gambling.